Awesome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my very first stream. My name is Kevin Lightup. This channel is Crypto for the Rest of Us. I've created this for all the boys and girls out there who are just average, regular people like me, who are ready to use the tools available to them, such as crypto, to really up-level their life, right? And that's what this is all about. I'm going to share some really cool projects with you, and you can take this knowledge and do with it what you will, right? There have been amazing opportunities for me that I've been able to capitalize on, and I just want to share these opportunities because, you know, I want to share the light with you on what's happening here. With that said, remember, you know, crypto is risky, and it is any actions that you take are absolutely your responsibility, right? I'm some guy on the internet who's just sharing some ideas that I have. So, you know, I empower you to, you know, take charge of your finances, recognize that, you know, the money that you have and what you do with it, this is energy flow, and you can create amazing things, or you can, you know, end up down in the pooper. So take your time, breathe through your actions, and make some good decisions and up-level your life so you can support yourself and others. With that said, today we are interviewing Callum, my very first guest on my very first stream. Callum is a member and a builder in the TitanX ecosystem. He's been working on something super, super cool, and I'm really, really excited to share this with you. You know, I read the white paper last week, I believe, and I was like, hey, this is cool. And then I was digging into it again a little bit more for this call, and I'm like, okay, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing how this is all coming together. You know, it's almost like he's built these little pistons in it that are just kind of pumping the project. And so we'll get into all that. Keeping in mind that to participate in this as a user, it's wicked easy, right? Like the beginning steps of this and how you can participate and make the most of this. The actions required by you are pretty minimal. So we're going to go over that, and then we're going to go into the more nitty-gritty nuts and bolts of what's happening. So, Callum, how are you, man? Thanks for being here.
I'm good, thank you. I feel honored to be the first one on stream. I'm happy that you've come and you've started streaming now. Hopefully it's the start of, the journey. Because I was in your position as well. And just reach out to as many people as you can for streaming. And I think your approach to doing it and having people in and not going too crazy with the information, but just trying to line it out for normal users is a very good approach to education for the people coming in, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I literally spend hours a day working on this kind of stuff, and, you know, I don't really share it with, you know, the public in my personal circle too much, because, you know, people are at different receptivities of this kind of information. So I think by sharing this out in this platform, the people who are interested in crypto and the DeFi world will find it and absorb it. So cool. Okay. So we're going to get into a project that is about to launch soon, and it's called Phoenix. So how did this all come up?
Yeah. So I mean, I started off just as an investor in TitanX, discovered TitanX, and I was like, okay, this is something special for sure. And then it came to the point where I was like, okay, I've got this idea. I've got some funds from DragonX because I was not super early in DragonX, but I definitely benefited from DragonX. So I was like, I've got these funds. I can either sit on this for the rest of the bull market, or I can decide to build something on my own. So that's how I kind of came around to building Phoenix. And it's actually quite straightforward. It's not straightforward, but there's infrastructure in place for anyone that's looking to build, for sure. So yeah, that's how I got started.
Awesome, cool, thanks. So to expand on that a little bit, TitanX is a token built on the Ethereum network, and it's kind of like a layer one built on a layer one, right? Because, you know, the original layer one is ETH, and then there's Titan on top of that. But Titan has spawned this whole ecosystem of coins, and that's where the real magic is in here. So to learn about this, go to titanxhub.com, and you'll see a list of projects here. So we have TitanX at the top, and then to the right of each of the projects, you'll see the white paper, links to social, and then a link to the website, the Dapp. And then below this, we have all these different projects. TitanX launched a year and a day ago today, so we just had TitanX 1 year birthday. And since then, all these projects, DragonX, Hyper, Hydra, Helios, Volt, and all these ones, these are all live active projects built on top of TitanX. And then down below, we have upcoming projects. These are all projects that are yet to launch, right? These are coming projects. The important thing to know is that all of these projects have the same goal, and that is to either burn the TitanX token or lock up the TitanX token. What that does is that creates deflationary pressure on the TitanX coin, pushing it up. That's the idea, is to push it up, right? Deflationary, it's the opposite of inflationary, which we're all familiar with, right? You know, too much of one thing, the price goes down. All these projects here are designed to support TitanX. And in doing so, they're all supported as well, because there's this web of liquidity and contract interaction, which drive all these coins up together. So all you really need to know is that the base coin here is TitanX, and then all these coins are designed to make number go up in an ideal world. And Phoenix is here on the list. So if you go down to upcoming projects, you'll see Phoenix here. And so you can check out the white paper, which we're going to be going through on this call. You can link to the Dapp, which will be available soon. And it's on the upcoming list. So do you have a launch date? Do you have a expected range of when this is going to happen?
Yeah, so no launch date is confirmed yet, but hopefully, well, it will be in November. It just depends when. Obviously, there's a lot of Steve's releasing all of his pillars. Most of those projects on the coming soon list are all from one guy, Steve. So he's launching that about mid-November. So I think Phoenix at the moment is coming around the same time, about mid-November.
Mid-November. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. I like that. And I want to remind everybody, there's a lot of energy that's going to Volt, the projects that are launching on it, Viper, that kind of thing. We have Day 369, which is creating a lot of focus and energy for TitanX. We have Morpheus launched yesterday, Lotus launched the other day, E280. We have all these projects coming up. And I want to remind you that Phoenix has some really, really cool tokenomics, and I think there's a lot of opportunity in here. So even though there's a lot going on, take the time to check out this white paper, to read into it, because there's a lot of value here. There's a lot of support. This project was deeply thought through, and in my opinion, will have great benefits to the whole ecosystem and to the holders of the coin, potentially.
Potentially, hopefully.
Hopefully, potentially, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So let's dive into it. So we're gonna hop into the white paper here, and I want to start with the visuals because I think that's the easiest. And so Phoenix is the token is created via virtual mining. Is that correct?
No, so it's going to be a mint phase. So there's going to be a 28-day mint phase where a user comes in with TitanX, they put in their TitanX, and they receive the Phoenix token at the ratio. If you can click on those, I think, and it should.
If I click on these?
Yeah, if you click on it, it should go full screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so as you can see on the left, user comes in, deposits TitanX, and they receive their Phoenix at the ratio that they get straight away. So there's no wait period. You get your Phoenix token straight away.
Okay.
The TitanX that is deposited is split on the right-hand side to all these different avenues. So the main value proposition that Phoenix has is it's going to have 3 different stakes. So Flux, TitanX, and Blaze all have payouts. So there's a whole nother topic of how they work. But
let's just jump back to the minting phase, because the minting phase is divided up into 2 stages, I believe. The first one being the token distribution, and that's 28 days, right?
28 days, yeah.
Cool. So if I wanted to mint, if I came in on day one, I would get a ratio of 1 Titan to 1 Phoenix. And then that ratio goes down from day 1 to day 28. Is that right?
Yep. Yep.
Cool. And that's where all the supply is created, right? After
Yep.
28 days, there's no more supply created.
Yeah. So it's completely fair launch. You mint your own supply and everyone has a fair chance to get in at the same time. There's no founder allocation to the supply at all. So yeah, this is like after the 28 days, completely capped, and there will be no more supply for Phoenix ever coming out.
Okay. So in terms of ratio, day 1 is better than day 2. Day 2 and 4 is better than day 5 and 8, and so forth. You can
So cool. we wanted to benefit early participation. So only for the first 24 hours is there going to be a 1-to-1 ratio, and then after that it just slowly decreases.
Love it. I participated in the TitanX mint, and
nice.
This part is very familiar for me.
Yeah, and, very similar. Yeah.
For most of the people who participated in the TitanX mint, they were very, very happy. So it's nice to see that correlation. For anybody who, has no idea how to get started with this, right? Like, how do I get TitanX? How do I do the mint? Let me just hop over here. So to get started, what you need is a browser wallet like MetaMask or Rabby here. And then what you can do is you can fund your MetaMask. There's various ways to do it, and you're going to fund that with ETH. Once you have ETH in your MetaMask, you go over to Uniswap and you connect your MetaMask to Uniswap, and then in the center here you can swap your ETH for TitanX, and then you'll have TitanX in your MetaMask or Rabby wallet. From there, you hop over to the Phoenix Dapp, which isn't live yet. That'll be live when the project launches, and then from there you can create your bins. Cool. So that is all right. So that's phase 1. That's creating the supply. Now after that, there is a phase 2, right? I believe that's auctions. Is that right?
Yeah. So this is not the auctions. The way they work is there's no new supply coming out from auctions.
Okay.
The way it's going to work is all the free stakes with the payouts are all going to fuel the Phoenix buy and burn or buy smart contract. Every time that's triggered by a user, the TitanX that sits in it is going to be swapped to Inferno and then Phoenix. That Phoenix that's brought is going to be split 50-50. 50% is burnt. The other 50% gets sent to an auction balance. The auction balance is going to be 2.5% of that is going to be auctioned off every day starting after the mint phase. So this is going to allow another inflow of TitanX into Phoenix, which is going to directly be mirroring the Phoenix price. So I think one thing with TitanX that I saw was before Hydra was launched, it had a valuation that was incredibly high compared to its payouts in TitanX. And hypothetically, if this happened for Phoenix and the payouts from the free stakes were very minimal, we would still have an inflow of TitanX that mirrors the Phoenix price that further fuels the buy and burn to make it more scarce and more scarce over time.
Okay, awesome. So after the 28 days, we roll into the auction system, and what happens is a portion of the TitanX used in the auction plus a portion of the money coming in from stakes or the value coming in from stakes, which we'll look at in a moment, is used to buy Phoenix on market, and then that's added to the auction to continue the cycle. So it's a perpetual auction, and in that perpetual auction, we do a whole bunch of things that benefit Phoenix, benefit TitanX, and benefit the other protocols that it is closely associated with.
Yep.
Sweet. Okay, cool. I like it. So let's dive in a little bit more. So when you virtually mint Phoenix, what happens is your TitanX, it goes into a smart contract, and then that Phoenix is created. You get your Phoenix, and then that TitanX is used in various ways, right? The smart contract, the math behind it, it does a whole bunch of really cool stuff. So what does it do, Callum?
Yeah, so here you can see, so in TitanX, there's the ethos that all projects should contribute to taking TitanX off the market.
Okay.
And we wanted to do that 100%, but we thought, what's a way we can directly benefit Phoenix as well? And obviously having a TitanX stake is a perfect way to do that. So 22% of all the TitanX that comes in is max staked in TitanX. So basically burnt and taken off the market. Obviously, this benefits us in the future because if another mining cycle happens and payouts come, then this is extra ammo to fuel the Phoenix buy and burn. So that's the 22% that goes to the TitanX stake.
Okay.
Now, Flux and Blaze were both built in the Inferno Kingdom. So there's different kingdoms in TitanX, and Inferno is one of the players. Dragon X is definitely one of the others. Phoenix is going to kind of be leveraging the Inferno Kingdom to the max. So it's going to be the main LP is going to be Phoenix/Inferno, and 70% of all the TitanX that comes in through the mint phase is going to route through Inferno before being separated into the different locations.
Okay.
So it's going to market by Inferno and then be split into the different destinations. So there's the Blaze stake, the Flux stake, and then also the Phoenix buy and burn / buy and bid, which we just addressed before.
Okay, awesome. So the TitanX that comes in, and this is the first 28 days, first four weeks, the first mid phase. The 22% goes and buys and max stakes TitanX. So in TitanX, these are the payouts for anyone who stakes in TitanX. So there's an 8-day payout, 28, 90, 369, which you can see is coming up right away. And it's $6.5 million at this point. And then we have the 888-day payout. All of these payouts get replenished as new stakes come in. And by Phoenix's smart contract creating a stake in TitanX, it will be eligible for these payouts, and it will use that TitanX it receives in various ways, which we'll get into. So by having a staking position here, it is adding value. It's adding economic energy to the Phoenix protocol. And then furthermore, so Inferno is really, really cool. This is the memeify or meme coin built in the Blaze Kingdom, like Callum just mentioned. And many of the projects in the Blaze Kingdom, the Blaze ecosystem, all burn Inferno or in some way try to remove Inferno off the market. Inferno is a deflationary coin, cap supply, meaning the number of coins are going down. So ideally the price goes up. And by Phoenix having its liquidity pool paired with Inferno based on Hart's law, as Inferno pushes up, that gives opportunity for Phoenix to rise up as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so we go to TitanX, we go to 70% goes to Inferno, and then 7% goes to Blaze. Blaze and Blaze staking, just kind of like in TitanX. And there are payout days in Blaze as well. And so by Phoenix having a position in the Blaze payouts, it also receives that economic energy. Blaze is an auction system, a continual auction system. So these pools will continue to fill up for, I think, years to come, right? I think this project just kind of stretches out.
Yeah, and if I could just add to that as well, obviously the 7% is the smallest allocation from everything on this page. But with our Blaze stake, we're going to be reinvesting 100% of all the Ethereum rewards we receive for the first 150 days. Back into that stake to make that stake as bulky as possible. And then that's going to be just before the 288-day payout for Blaze. And that should give us a nice inflow of Ethereum for our Phoenix buy and burn. Okay, got it.
So out of these payouts, which is paid out in Ethereum in Blaze, so for the first 150 days, 100% of that is remax staked into Ethereum. Yep. So it just bolsters that position really, really hard. And then after 150 days, then it gets redistributed.
It gets split to match the other stakes. Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, and then the third staking position that we have is Flux. Same idea. Flux has payouts. Flux has a 8, 28, 88, and 777 day payout, and it pays out in TitanX. And so again, by creating this position, we are creating recurring revenue or recurring economic energy for Phoenix. And Phoenix, we'll look at this in a moment too. We'll use that economic energy to reduce the Phoenix supply to push the price up. Awesome. And then 35% of the 70% goes straight to buying and burning Phoenix.
Yeah, because we do want to make sure the ratio for the mint period is always profitable or break even. So that means users can always come in and there's not a point where it's negative to participate in Phoenix.
Okay, I love it.
And I love it. Yeah, and obviously we do want to start building up that auction balance for after the mint period, so we can have a decent amount of Phoenix being auctioned off daily afterwards.
Okay. Love it. Cool. So this is the first 28 days. A user comes in with their TitanX, they mint Phoenix, and then all this happens in the background. The economic energy they bring in goes into these various staking pools, and it goes to burn Phoenix as well. I love it. The liquidity pool is Phoenix and Inferno, and that's created after a first certain amount of Titan comes into the minting. Correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And is that locked liquidity?
Yep, of course.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so anything else about the first 4 weeks?
Nope, that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, users come in, there's the ratio, and it's the best ratio is day one, and then it slowly decreases over time over the 28 days. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, we'll slowly build up the stakes throughout the 28 days, and then after that, yeah, fully deflationary, and we'll see what happens after that. Yeah.
Nice. I love that. Cool. And we don't know how much Phoenix will be created, right? That all depends on how much user participation there is in the first 4 weeks.
Exactly. Yeah. You can mint your own supply, basically.
Okay, perfect. All right. I like that. And so then we have the staking trinity. We just kind of went over some of this. And do these numbers change at all through, like, are these for the first 4 weeks, or do these numbers stay consistent the whole time?
For the TitanX and the Flux stake, they stay exactly the same the entire time. It's only the Blaze stake with the 150-day reinvestment period. And then after that, it switches to match Flux's split, which you have on the screen now.
Okay, perfect. I think what we'll do is we'll hop over to the other diagram. These diagrams are great.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're huge help in understanding this. And okay, so there's initially there's a lot going on here, but it's actually pretty simple, especially if you break it up into little chunks. And when I was dissecting this and I was looking at these little systems, like this little Flux system here, this TitanX system here, this Blaze system here, this is that piston action I was talking about, right? Like it kind of runs itself in many ways, because these rewards are going to keep coming in. They're going to be coming in from the continual Phoenix auctions, and they're going to be coming in from the stakes as the stakes replenish themselves, which all just recycle this system, which is super cool. I see this project, whether it comes out the gate hot or it has a slow ramp up, I can see in the future it's getting at this space where it just keeps plowing through and you can't stop it. Just by this system, it's just gonna keep providing value into Phoenix, keep providing value in this Phoenix. At least it seems like that's how you designed it, and that's what you were thinking.
Yeah, I think one of the main things I was looking at when building was something that's going to be sustainable, something that's going to be here for the long term, and that in 5 years, 10 years, if you believe TitanX is still going to be here, Phoenix is going to still be there, chugging along, becoming more and more deflationary. Yeah,
I love it. And the other thing that I'm seeing with Phoenix in true fashion of these TitanX projects, it's kind of like a puzzle piece being fit into the puzzle of the whole TitanX ecosystem, right? You see these opportunities, you see ways to capture economic value in the ecosystem and pull it back into the system, keep it in the system, lock it in there. So it's really cool how you did this, how you use these staking boards. I think it really just like it just complements everything that's happening so well, and it's going to support the whole ecosystem in big ways, just the way you designed this. I totally love it.
Would you like to quickly run through this in case
I would love to. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so maybe just start on where it says the flux stake.
Okay.
Yeah, so everyone ignore what it says on the left, these percentages. We'll get back to that in a second. So these are the staking trinity. There's the flux stake, the TitanX stake, the Blaze stake.
Yeah.
And put very simply, half of the rewards we get, or 43.5% for the flux and Blaze, and then 48.5% for TitanX. So let's just say half of the rewards we receive are going to be used to maintain those stakes.
Okay.
Because as more supply comes out, it's going to obviously people get diluted here or there, but in this way, we're going to be able to maintain those stakes, to maintain those payouts. 43.5% of all the rewards from all three stakes are going to go straight to the Phoenix buy smart contract. And when that's triggered by a user, like we were saying before, the Phoenix brought is going to be split 50-50. So 50% is going to be burnt and 50%. So if you go to the right, 50% is burnt, 50% is sent to the auction smart contract. And this is basically the buy and bid balance. So if you go down to the bottom, that's basically the buy and bid balance. And this will build up over the 28-day mint period. And then starting day 29, 2.5% of this balance is going to be auctioned off daily. And obviously this balance will always be being built up and added to as the Phoenix buy smart contract is always triggered from the fuel from the free stakes. Now, when the daily auctions occur, users can come in and participate with TitanX. The TitanX we receive is going to be split. 80% is going to go back to the Phoenix buy smart contract, so basically recycled. 5% Genesis, and then the 15% goes back to the free stakes to maintain them even further, to make sure that we keep our positions in those free protocols.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a cystical system, like you were talking about. Sustainable is definitely one of the main factors that we were looking at when we were building Phoenix.
Yeah. Okay, I love it. Let me see if I can just repeat what you said here. So we have our Trinity staking system, and so Flux, whenever these payouts occur, the Phoenix will receive a portion of these payouts, and it will 43% of those rewards will go back and restake, right? So to keep bolstering that position in there. 5% will stake TitanX, which removes TitanX off the market and bolsters Phoenix's position in TitanX. And then the other 43% goes to the Phoenix smart contract. TitanX, same idea, right? It collects the payouts, and 8% goes to Genesis. 48.5 goes back to restake, and then 43.5 goes into the smart contract. So I like this. I like this because this shows me that you are bullish on TitanX and that you are envisioning mining becoming profitable again in TitanX and having a big run. Is that right?
Definitely, for sure. I think it's, personally, in my opinion, I think it's just around the corner. And there have already been 2 projects that have confirmed that they're going to be sending TitanX to be, because a lot of projects are sending them, send their TitanX to either Helios or DragonX to be burnt. But if you're in the Inferno Kingdom, this makes more sense to send it to Phoenix, because through our buy and burn, we come through buy Inferno, which pushes up the Inferno price and pushes up all the projects built on top. So this is, 2 Inferno projects have already confirmed they're going to be sending TitanX to our TitanX stake as well.
Okay, so this is like the DragonX vault. This is almost like the Phoenix vault, where any projects can send their TitanX here, because that removes TitanX off the market, and then it uses the rewards to support the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet. I love it. Awesome. Okay. And then the third one, so first 150 days, what happens is we just keep restaking in Blaze, restaking in Blaze, restaking in Blaze to build that position. And then this system kicks in. Cool.
Yep, same as the Flux. Mo's just said in the chat, are you streaming on X?
I believe so. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I have a exclamation mark on my premium account is required, Callum. Okay.
If you let me stream, I'll be able to stream to my audiences.
Got it. Okay. How do I let you stream? That's probably a
it should be an option on the top right. Or I can't remember. It's one of the in the settings somewhere.
Yeah, it's probably under, let's see, present. Callum. Settings. Nope.
It doesn't matter too much if you can't figure out this stream. You can always do it.
We'll get it next time. We'll get it next time. Yeah, because we're on a bit of a roll here.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Okay, so these little systems in their own are like perpetual economic generating machines that are just gonna keep pumping this Phoenix smart contract over and over and over. And the better these projects do on their own, the better these little systems will work. So it's like this self-feeding system for sure.
Yeah. If I could just add to that, yeah, they are all independent of each other. So if there's a scenario where TitanX is doing really well and there's loads of payouts coming out, but the Flux payouts and the Blaze payouts aren't doing that well, we benefit from it. If there's a scenario where Blaze is doing much better than the other two, we benefit from it. If there's a scenario where Flux is doing really well, we benefit from that as well. And also, if Phoenix is absolutely, hypothetically, not financial advice, going really high, then the daily auctions are going to be bringing in a really large amount of TitanX that's going to continue to fuel the further burn and of Phoenix. Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. And TitanX is a minting protocol. So, minting comes and goes in waves with TitanX. Right now, the wave is down. We're expecting it to go up. Flux and Blaze, however, these are continual auction systems. So we're expecting to see these staking payouts to continue to fill up for years and years to come. So that means this time next year or the year after, these little pistons will be pumping and feeding that Phoenix by smart contract. So think about this, and we have all this other bit to get in here, but I just want to seed something for everybody. So imagine that on day one of Phoenix, you hopped in there, you minted some Phoenix, and you got it at the 1-to-1 ratio, the best option, right? And then you have that in your wallet, and you just sit and wait, and you let this system work, and you give it time to work, and you give it time for these numbers to do what they're doing for this math to math. There's a really strong potential that, in the next 6 months, 12 months, I don't know, time going on, maybe even, 24 months, as this keeps working and, the more diamond hands you are, that the amount of Phoenix, because of this buy and burn set in here, will just get smaller and smaller and smaller. And, the buy and burn won't, but the amount of tokens available on the market will get smaller and smaller and smaller. And by holding that position, you'll be holding, a large chunk of that dwindling supply, which could work out very good for you.
Definitely. I think, the whole idea is scarcity. And this system kind of forces scarcity through burning its supply. It's like, imagine if all the gold in the world was slowly getting eaten away by its own buy and burn. It's increasing the value as it becomes more scarce.
This is so cool. So cool. All right. So these three arrows, these 43.5%, they all pump into the Phoenix smart contract. The Phoenix smart contract then 50% of that buys and burns Phoenix. And I'm expecting that that's going to be a even burn over time or something along those lines. Like you're going to have a certain amount allocated each day to buy and burn Phoenix. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. Depending on how much the balance is for the Phoenix buy smart contract. Very similar to how the TitanX buy and burn works.
Okay, cool. Let's look at that quick. So here's the TitanX.win site. I got to this from TitanX.hub. And if I go to the buy and burn, we'll see here. So in the V2, there's currently 6.38 ETH, and 3.23 ETH is being called every 280 minutes. And then in the V1, look at that. We have right now almost $12 million,
which is insane.
And there's the cap call down here. So it'll be a similar idea. And then the users, like you or I or anyone watching this call, they can come in here and they can click the burn button, and there will be a user reward for doing so.
Yep, that's correct.
Sweet, man. Okay. Awesome. So 50% goes to the buy and burn, and then the other 50% goes to that perpetual auction. And that perpetual auction, it sits in the buy and burn bid balance, which 2% every day is auctioned off.
Yeah, 2.5%. Yeah.
2.5%. Okay, cool. So that means that it's taking the current supply of Phoenix and it's buying 50% of that. And it's storing it up, and then it's auctioning it off slowly. So and then what that does is the TitanX used in the auction, 5% goes to Genesis, 80% goes back into the smart contract. So it makes this loop, right? And once it gets in here, 50% of that is burned, 50% of that is burned. And then 50% goes into the auction again. So it keeps that cycling momentum. And then the other bit, the 15%, goes into continually bolstering these staking payouts as well.
Yeah. So hopefully, if there's a scenario where Phoenix takes off, through the daily auctions, we're going to have good fuel to maintain or even build up our stakes in the free protocols to then benefit from even more payouts in the future.
Okay. All right. So these staking payouts, or these staking positions, they increase, they get larger and larger by two mechanisms. One is rewards from the pool, and then the other is from TitanX that is brought in from the daily auctions.
Yeah, and then anyone or any protocol can also send TitanX to our stake, Flux to our stake, or Blaze to our stake. So it adds in a nice, maybe future potential for future projects to benefit Phoenix.
Okay, they're all open. They're all open.
Yeah.
Okay. Love that. So I hope the audience, I hope you're seeing how there's, little perpetual systems built into this, right? There's almost like 3-4 perpetual systems, and then 5, this big giant loop, all designed to really support the ecosystem, right? We're talking about supporting Inferno, Flux, Titan, Blaze, Phoenix, and then all the other protocols that these projects are connected with, either by 1 or 2 degrees of such separation. So this really is like, as a person who's part of this project or part of this ecosystem, like, thank you, Callum, for building this, because like just by holding one of these positions, or really any position in the ecosystem, this project is going to support that position. And then with just this like perpetual cycle, it's, my opinion, it's really placing Phoenix in this position to do extremely well. It's awesome. It's awesome. Well done. Well done on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely built it as just something that I wanted to invest in. I had the idea and I was like, you know what, I would invest in this if it was out there. So that's why I built it, because I hopefully, like you said, other people will see its value as well. If it's okay, can we just touch on the auction systems? So
yes.
They're obviously very different to TitanX. There was a bit of controversy when DragonX launched and diluted stakers in the TitanX stake, but it's very different with the so yeah, I was talking about the Flux and Blaze auction systems.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The way those work, yeah. So the way those work is whatever the price of those projects are, is reflected with the daily auctions. So if the price of Flux or Blaze 2x'd, there would be 2x the amount coming in through the daily auctions on their protocols, which means there's 2x the amount in the rewards, which means there's 2x the amount for all the stakers and obviously Phoenix as well. And if you go onto the Flux website at the top right, I'm pretty sure if you go to their stats, I think their liquid supply is only 8.5%, or if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a pie chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 8.2% is liquid. So imagine if just a small amount of buy pressure is applied to that.
Yeah.
It could easily, well, not easily. Obviously, this is not financial advice, all hypothetical. But if the Flux price is pushed up a 2x, there's 2x the amount of rewards for everyone, including Phoenix, including all the stakers. And that's a very small amount. And there's another project being launched on Flux as well. Dude, he's going to be launching E369. So both of those are going to be forced buy pressure onto Flux. So who knows how valuable it's going to be, and who knows, whatever the price is going to be reflected in the payouts, which are obviously going to benefit Phoenix even more if Flux is higher. And it's the same with Blaze as well. I think the liquid supply for Blaze is about 20%, so it's still quite low.
Okay, awesome. So basically, this is a big deal. This is a big deal, everyone. So basically, this oops, wrong screen. So basically, this 6% is buy pressure on Flux. This 43.5% is buy pressure on Flux, and then same for TitanX and Blaze. And what that does is that buy pressure buys the liquid supply. Flux, there's only 8.2 liquid supply left. So this gets smaller and smaller, which in theory pushes up the price of Flux. And the higher the price of Flux, the more value comes into Flux through the auctions and increases these rewards, which then increases the amount of economic energy that Phoenix gets out of the payouts, which then goes back in, and this cycle repeats. Oh man,
exactly.
I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. And that's the same for Blaze and TitanX as well.
Yeah. And obviously it's not just through the daily auctions. It is 28% of all the TitanX that comes in through the mint phase, the 28 days, is going to go to buy Flux off market.
Okay. Yes.
So depending how big the launch is and how much TitanX we get, all of that, or 28%, is going to go to buy Flux.
Okay.
But it's going to buy Inferno first and then Flux.
Cool. Okay. So then this Inferno buy and then buying into these separate protocols and the buy and burn. So the TitanX, does this happen all at once, or is it going to be stored in TitanX and then dripped out kind of daily or hourly or minutely?
Dripped out, yeah. Obviously, for each, there's going to be different time parameters, because if 70% all brought at once, it would be a big candle up and then a big candle down. So yeah, it's all split up, but the whole premise is over time, 70% of it is all going to flow through Inferno before being split into the separate places. Jake is in the chat, by the way.
Yeah.
I think he's just giving some advice on how to enable it for guests.
Okay.
Mo's there as well.
Let's see, invite.
And Utah Crypto.
The guest streaming thing is settings bottom.
What does everyone think of our suits?
Yeah, we're looking good.
Yeah.
I suggested this because Callum, he's been dressing super dapper for his first couple streams, and so I thought, let's continue this, because this is the real deal, man. This is business. This is serious stuff. There's a lot of potential and opportunity for everyone here, and following the whole TitanX rules, regulation, EOS, whatever you want to say. We're serious about this, right? I would imagine put up, you said at the beginning, you used a lot of your Dragon X that you originally minted to create this, which is huge, man, because my Dragon X, I don't want to let go of that, right? You paid a lot of money for this to happen. You paid for the for the proper developers, the proper audits. And I think, based on the kingdom that you're working with, I would assume that you consulted with many of the Blaze people. Is any of that right?
Yep. I mean, yeah, I've spoke to numerous people, mainly through streaming. I think is the best way, because I think if you just have an idea to build something, and maybe you just have the white paper, it's difficult to take people to take you seriously, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there. So I just thought, let's get straight to it. Let's start building. And then I had more of an idea, and as it was getting built, then I reached out to more people here and there for their advice. And a lot of advice has helped tweak the percentages on here to make it its final product. Yeah.
Awesome. And did you use the same auditors and same devs that are commonly used here in this ecosystem? I know there's a lot of names out there that I hear over and over again.
Yeah. So the company that I used to help is called Decentra, and they helped build. Okay. They are partnered with the Accelerate team. Yep. So all of the Accelerate projects they've helped build. They've helped build Volt. They've helped build Lotus. They've helped build all the major players. So yeah, they're really good. Audits we haven't started yet. We're still just in testnet. Okay. Hopefully by the end of this week we should have the first audit.
Cool.
On the go. But yeah, they've hooked me up with all of that. So if anyone's looking to build, definitely go check them out.
Awesome. I love that. You know what? It's such a breath of fresh air being in this TitanX ecosystem. Knowing that these projects, anything can happen, right? Really anything can happen. But so far, all of these projects are being built with the utmost scrutiny. Lots of consultation with people in the community to make sure that it's aligned with the ultimate goal of burning TitanX, supporting the ecosystem. It's a real place of collaboration, and I really like it. It's done really well, this whole system so far. And also, I just want to say that this Blaze protocol, this staking protocol, TitanX was obviously the first layer, the foundation, but Blaze was created by a bunch of people, a bunch of TitanX enthusiasts, and it took months and months for them to put this together. They put a lot of work into it. They learned a lot, and in doing so, they learned how to properly launch projects. And then what they did is they created systems and opportunities for people like yourself to bring these kind of visions to life. So first of all, thanks to the Blaze community, and second of all, those actions that they did, that hard work that they did to figure this out and then to make it available to others, is part of the reason for the massive success that we're seeing with all these other projects. So super awesome.
Yeah, I'm just going to reply to Utah Crypto. The flow charts were made on TL Draw. Yeah, and Mo said from now on you have to wear a suit, basically. It's a gift and a curse. It is, because all the streams I go on, they're like, "Where's the suit?"
You know what?
You're gonna have to wear it from now on.
You gotta do it. So I'm a wedding DJ, right?
Yeah.
And when I put my suit on, I set up my gear, I put my suit on, and then I become Kevin, the wedding DJ. It's like this different persona comes out of me.
Ego,
I speak to different people differently. I act differently. Yeah. So this is it. This is the outfit, the uniform, man. That projects you into the Phoenix version of Callum. I love it, man. I love it.
It's got to be a movement. We're gonna slowly turn all the streamers, get them all to wear suits on all their streams.
Totally. Cool. This is great. We're expecting this to launch sometime in mid to late November. And again, participating, it's easy. You just get that TitanX into your MetaMask wallet. You got about a month to figure that out, and then what you do is you just go to the Dapp and you mint 1-to-1 ratio on day one, and it goes down from there. So this is going to be a really cool opportunity. So if Callum, if people want to stay connected with you, how do they do that?
Yeah, so I think Twitter is probably the best place. It's just
Okay.
Callum288_. But if you're looking for Phoenix, I think there's the official links on the white paper. And the only link that you should be using is docs.phoenix.win. So
Okay.
don't be clicking any of the other stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the
So
website's
if I come here, you can join the Telegram.
Yep.
And then connect with you on Twitter. And then also, of course, the TitanX Hub. We got upcoming projects. And so here's the link to the white paper. And then these are the 2 socials and the website.
Yep. I'd like to, can we get into, maybe flip the script, and can I ask you a question? How did you get into TitanX, and what's the journey been like so far? And why have you decided to start streaming?
Awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah. So what happened about 18 months ago, maybe a little less than that. I was on YouTube, which before all of this, I didn't go to YouTube very much. I never had an X account, right? But I was there for whatever reason. And I saw this ad for passive income through liquidity providing. And I was like, passive income, multiple streams of income, like I'm in. Let's fucking do this, right? And so I went down this rabbit hole, and then all of a sudden I'm starting to learn about DeFi, and I'm looking for courses and trainings and videos and all how to do it, that kind of thing. And nothing was really lining up for me until I was deep in this Facebook thread, right? I was just like, you know, where's my teacher? Where's my teacher? Who am I going to find? Who's going to teach me this stuff? And then from there, I found Jake Sharp, who's the founder of TitanX, and I enrolled in his mastermind. You know, had never set up a MetaMask wallet or any of that kind of stuff before. And then from there, I started listening to the calls that they were doing. TitanX wasn't even a thing at the time. It was just it was more around some of the other projects that they were looking at. And I just kind of started figuring it out. And then, you know, TitanX started to become the conversation. You know, the 2 weeks leading up to TitanX, when these public streams started to happen, I started to, you know, create my strategy and that kind of thing. And then when it launched, you know, I was just full in. I was full in, and I, you know, would listen to all these calls. I would listen to all the streams over and over and over. And I just consumed it, and it really helped me understand this whole system. Like when it comes to TA, chart analysis, and that kind of stuff, I'm not your guy. But when it comes to your strategy, when it comes to, you know, these minting protocols, and, you know, learning what's happening with these smart contracts and strategizing that way, I put the hours in. I really do, and I think that is the key to success, to not only to learn this information, but to stay current with this information and to really understand that this has the potential to financially change your life and to financially change the life of the people around you. So take it that seriously, right? I mean, it's all of this is up to you. None of what I'm saying is financial advice. The only thing that is financial advice is that you are in charge of your finances and your own actions. So take this stuff seriously, because the more you do, the better opportunities you have.
So you're a real OG into the whole space, basically. Were you day one in TitanX?
Absolutely, day one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow. I've got a question. What was it like in the mastermind before TitanX? What were the calls about, and what was kind of going on?
Yeah, so it was about so the first half was like listening to some kind of Chinese call, because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what Zen was. I didn't know what any of this stuff was, right? And and so there were a couple plays. That you know, the group was aligning to, and it just wasn't panning out. It just wasn't panning out, right? Like some of these projects that, you know, were supposed to happen didn't happen, or like, you know, it just wasn't coming together. And I remember Jake being like, "Fuck it, I am going to, you know, I've been researching, I've been building this project in the background. I'm now going to bring it to the forefront." And so these calls were basically it was brainstorming, it was idea gathering, right? It was Jake would share kind of like some ideas, and then people would give their feedback. It was funny because Steve D5 and Bolt, he was in there as well too, and everyone was always like, well, what does Steve think? What's he doing, kind of thing. So it was this real like collaborative idea, and absolutely no fair advantage. You know what I mean? Like the only I know, yeah. There was no advantage over anybody else. The only advantage that I had was, I would say, when the 2 weeks before the promotion of TitanX started, I was ready to start consuming that content. That was it, right? There was no other kind of information shared that way. So it was fun. I did a Zen mint, which I think I gotta check on. I think that's coming available. And I learned a lot about some other communities and that kind of thing. But yeah, day one for sure. And then from there, I also brought in a couple people in my circle to be day one as well, and we cheer about that often, kind of thing, and stuff like that. And but we also remind ourselves that nothing's guaranteed until it is actually guaranteed, right? So be calm, take your time, read things through, breathe, right? In general, holding and waiting is better than jumping ships, moving, trying to shift your money around, unless you're kind of a pro at that. I know I like Crypto Audio King's videos because he leverages the charts and that kind of thing, which I think takes a lot of skill and a lot of learning. But in general, you grab these opportunities, you sit, you hold on to them, and that creates the best potential opportunity for you, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I would love to see some of those early calls. I wonder if they're not on YouTube or anything, would they? But it'd be cool to see how the idea of TitanX was formed, how everyone shared their different experiences with different projects, because it does really feel like the combination of all these different projects, like Zen, Hex, everything kind of built into one. So yeah, it would have been cool. I'm jealous. It sounds like you had a very unique position to see the evolution of TitanX take place.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, we're having a front row seat of it all right now, but in more of an advanced situation, the way this build on TitanX is happening, this is like evolution to the next level, which is amazing to see. So we're part of all that right now, which is really, really cool. And I believe originally TitanX was not built for standalone, right? I remember Jake had ideas of building a couple projects on it, but never to this extent, right? Never to where it's at. You know what I mean? And it
was just Hyper, wasn't it? TitanX and Hyper. That was the original.
Original totally. And then I think I'm an entrepreneur in different areas of my life, and I think incentivizing builders to build like you've been incentivized and everyone else on this build on TitanX hub list, I think is brilliant, because it takes time, money, investment, right, to do this, and people should be rewarded for that. It's business. Otherwise, if you're not, then people take shortcuts, or they do scammy ass shit, which we're not seeing that here. And I think that by having that builder incentive is part of it, right? It just makes sense to me. So
it's awesome to see that there's as of yet, touch wood, there's been no big scams, no big rugs, nothing like that, because builders are incentivized. Before, outside of TitanX, builders would just hold a majority of the supply, and if they wanted to take profits or build more stuff, they would just have to rug their own projects, which just is, I can't believe this hasn't been done before. So that incentive for builders, I think, is really good, and it's going to just attract more higher quality builders that see the unique chance there is in TitanX at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. This is it's setting the standard for how crypto should be done. Like most people are, scared of crypto, and rightly so, because, so much of it is a scam. And touch wood, I'm blessed to be initially introduced into this whole ecosystem because the bar is set high. Right now, it's like when I look at other projects, it's very easy to see like whether I think it's relevant to get into or not, because it's just like your crypto should have a very high standard. Your builders should have community in mind. It has to be fair. If it's not fair, it's not fair, right? Why would you participate in something that's not fair? And how do you see through the marketing bullshit of most of these projects that they hype it all up and then people get screwed? I think you do that by having a community, right? We have tens of thousands of people who are speaking about this all at the same level, right? Who are all participated. They all had the same fair opportunity. And for me, that creates a lot of trust, right? That creates a lot of trust. You pair that with taking the time to learn about what you're investing in and to stay current with what you're investing in. And, you're just creating a recipe for success, really.
Yeah, 100%. Where do you see TitanX going now? How obsessed are you with it? And is it one of your main holders in crypto, or
it's
doing it?
I mean, it's the most exciting place in crypto to be, right? So
for sure.
Yeah. So I'll just say that much. And I do spend a fair bit of time following the Bitcoin cycles, like the 4-year cycles, because from my understanding, that is a major guider of the rest of the markets, right? And so I think by understanding what's happening in the TitanX ecosystem, pairing that with the 4-year Bitcoin cycle, you'll get a strong idea of what's happening, at least how altcoins are going to be influenced based on what Bitcoin does. And the gist of that is, we are either in or entering a major bull cycle for Bitcoin, which ideally Bitcoin should go up, pull up all the altcoins, and then it's gonna come back down. And most of the altcoins drop down like 90%, that kind of thing, right? Most of them crash. And what's going to happen with TitanX, it's yet to see. However, what I will say is that we have, oh, sorry, I made you just.
It's all right.
We have this huge web of projects. And this is just what's up now, right? Like by the time this time next year, we're forecasting to have like another 100 projects or something like that. And what does that do? That creates this web of liquidity bonding, and it creates this web of smart contract interaction. So what will happen is, when we go into the next bull cycle, TitanX and the whole community will be affected by that. And the smart contracts will just keep smart contracting, right? Everything's going to go down and they're just going to keep doing their thing. The liquidity pools are going to keep doing what they're doing. That's all going to happen. So the question is, how far is TitanX and the whole community going to drop? And then what's going to happen when all these numbers just keep doing their thing, right? And little bits of opportunity start popping up, and we have hundreds of thousands of people who are looking at these opportunities and looking for these little things, because that's what happens. There's like this flow of economic energy in the whole system, and opportunities just pop all over the place in here. So I think it's going to be an interesting bear. I think things are going to be moving. I definitely think it's not going to disappear at all. I think it's just too strong of a contract and liquidity web. So to me, I like that. And I also think that, TitanX has a strong future because of how it's built.
Yes, 100%. And I think as we've seen, builders are coming and they're continuing to build. All the Blaze team came in, built Blaze, and then they were like, right. And now a lot of those projects on that page are because of the Blaze team. And if you really think about it, there's not that many different teams that are building at the moment. I think it's only going to increase over time. And I think the bear market is going to be really exciting because we're going to see loads and loads of projects that launch with loads of new ideas. And yes, everything crashes big time, but it's going to be interesting to see how much TitanX crashes before going into the next cycle. And then the cycle after and the cycle after. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, a great example of this is look at the past 3-4 months from August on, right? From August until now, where there's two things going on. There's crypto, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything else is just like stagnant or not doing well at all. And then TitanX and the whole community we've already been in a bull run. It's been exciting. People have been making money like hand over fist over the past from August until now, right? So it's TitanX is kind of like, here, hold my beer, right? Bitcoin, hold my beer. I'm fucking going for it, and that's what's been happening. That's just what's been happening. You look at the charts. It's right there. So I think that's indicative of what will come in the future, right? And a lot of these markets, right? Like the whole reason there's a 4-year Bitcoin cycle and that kind of thing is because it's all run through human emotion, right? It's how humans are feeling about the market, and it's how humans are feeling about the what's happening in the world at large, right? We're seeing that here in the TitanX ecosystem. We're also seeing smart contract upon smart contract upon smart contract that doesn't care. It doesn't care what the charts are doing. It doesn't care what's happening on in the world. It's buying, it's burning, it's locking, it's providing liquidity, it's working, it's doing its thing. And that changes the chart pattern. That absolutely affects the chart pattern in a way that human emotions don't. So how that's all going to play out, it's an experiment, and it's a damn good experiment.
Yeah, for sure. And going back to what you were saying about after the last few months, Bitcoin, Ethereum has just kind of been stagnant, if not down. Imagine when it does start to pick up again, and we do enter, because at the end of the day, TitanX was designed to be a leverage play on top of Ethereum, and Ethereum has been doing nothing. So let's just picture a scenario where Ethereum starts pumping and maybe reaches all-time highs. What's that going to do for TitanX and all the projects that are built on top of it? I think we are so early, and the future is going to be absolutely insane for TitanX for sure. From the videos that you've watched about the Bitcoin, Ethereum, like pairs and how it's been run, what have you kind of learned?
Yeah. So I'll get into that, but just what you were saying about what's going to happen if/when Bitcoin and Ethereum take a turn for the better. So this is the V1 buy and burn for TitanX, and there's 4,458 Ethereum in the buy and burn balance, equaling $11.7 billion. Okay, so if ETH doubles in value, this buy and burn balance doubles in value. Now we're looking at like $25 million kind of thing. And that's throughout the whole ecosystem that this kind of stuff starts to happen, right? So it's like we're doing our thing over here, things are going well, and then once we get all this big economic flow, then there's just so much more buy pressure, power, all that kind of stuff.
I think it would be really interesting to see when this is turned back on. I think for the longevity of TitanX, it makes the most sense to do it in the bear market at the bottom, where we can burn. Imagine if this is activated at the bottom of the bear market. Imagine how much TitanX this is going to burn and take off the market, and that's going to be like an elastic band ready for the next cycle. I think we might see it activated in this bull run, but I think it doesn't even need to be. It could literally just sit there because all the projects are doing their thing, and this is like just a nice insurance policy in the background, basically.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Waiting to the bear and then turning this on, and it's just that jump start again. It's just this ecosystem does what it does because of these contracts, because of what's available there. I love that, Callum. What a cool idea. What a cool thought. Hopefully Jake is listening to that one. Hey.
I reckon he was already thinking that. I mean, it makes the most sense for the longevity of TitanX. You don't want to pump. I mean, everything's doing so well as it is.
Yeah.
This is good for its long-term success.
Yeah, I think before all these projects, everyone was talking about the buy and burn
Yeah.
Buy and burn running out. No,
Yeah.
it's the doomsday. Buy and burn's going to run out. Everything's going to crash. And from my understanding right now, all these build on TitanX protocols, they're doing like 5 or 10 times more, burning and locking of TitanX than the buy and burn ever did, right? So it's just like buy and burn has now become a small contributor because all these other protocols are becoming like whale contributors.
Which is so awesome. That is like, how bullish is that? That this isn't even needed. We don't even need to activate this. This is just in the back pocket, waiting there. And there are other projects that haven't launched by Jake himself, like X28 and Shogun, which, I mean, if you just look at Hydra's adoption, I think it had over 20 trillion TitanX sacrificed. So it only takes those two projects, and we absolutely send TitanX. And that isn't including all the other projects being built by everyone else. So yeah, I'm too bullish on TitanX. I think I need to just come back down a little bit.
No way. Stay up there. Oh man, I got this one buddy. I talked to him on the phone, and he's like, Kevin, I just been bouncing off the walls all day. He's like, I just love this. You keep looking at it. You look for flaws. You try to pick things apart, and every single time you find an issue or a problem, you find a solution that's already built to accommodate that, right?
Yeah,
so
100%. Yeah. And I had a stream with Jake, and I asked him, what do you think's the biggest kind of black swan? And he was basically just saying it's interest, because all of this is kind of perceived value. And if people lose interest, then obviously everything will go down. But there's always going to be interest because there's the builder incentive to continue to build. And we're seeing that now. So I think it's just a never-ending cycle. And I think in the bear market, I've spoke to a lot of builders, and they're like, yeah, we can't wait for the bear market for everything to chill out a bit and just really focus on producing some really high quality projects that are going to do really well in the next cycle. So, I mean, I can't see many negatives for TitanX, to be honest. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm not thinking it through.
You know what? I agree with you. And at the end of the day, any crypto project or any business requires a growing community, right? Any business requires people to come into the store and use the store, and that's no different, right? That's no different here. That's no different than over in Solana or wherever. But what is different is just the strength of this community. And again, it's just that interwoven connectedness of all these projects, right? It's just designed to be sticky is the word, right? It's designed to participate, and it's designed for people to profit from, right? Obviously, this crypto in general is a zero-sum game, right? But 50% of people doing well is a lot better than 1% of the people doing well. You know what I mean? This is fair opportunity. And you ride things out, you mint your Phoenix on day one, and you hold that and you let the machine work for you. You're just increasing your odds of succeeding. That's really what it is. You just be patient with this stuff, and you're just improving your ability to succeed. You're improving your odds for sure.
I've got a good question. What is your favorite TitanX project that has launched so far? Do you have any bias towards any projects?
Difficult TitanX. I love my TitanX. I love my DragonX. Those are so good. Farms is literally changing my life.
Yeah,
I love farms. I think it's awesome. I think there's a lot of great opportunity there for the people who provide liquidity to the farms, but also how, again, farms fills a need in the ecosystem and helps the whole ecosystem at large, right? It spreads out that liquidity pool, making trades easier to happen, making sell walls harder to become established, and then it uses the funds from liquidity providing to buy and burn tokens, right? Like it's awesome. So that's some of my favorites. I could keep running through the list, to be honest with you. E280, get your E280 before it closes November 9th, because that's sick.
I mean, it's doing so well at the moment, and it's not, the mint phase isn't even over, and then it becomes deflationary, and I think that's when it's really going to get interesting. But we're already seeing its success at the moment, so I'm definitely looking forward to see what happens to E280 for sure.
Me too. And just I've been watching the dude stream since he created Helios. At the I don't know, somewhere around January or something like that last year, and just watching him stream now, he's just so like giddy and excited about how this is going, and rightly should be, because E280, that's passive income. That's hold this NFT and claim your rewards. It's great. Like it's super cool. Another big one I got my eye on is Ouroboros, ORX. So it's a little bit people don't really totally understand what's happening with that Ouroboros. So there is a lending protocol. There's two aspects to it. There is the Ouroboros token creation, which is happening right now. It's the Ouroboros mint phase. And people who have Ouroboros tokens will be able to stake those tokens for rewards from the lending protocol. So the second part of Ouroboros is an actual lending protocol. You can put your TitanX coins into the as collateral in the lending protocol, and then you receive USDX, and you can spend that how you wish. And holders of the ORX token can stake for those rewards. So that's all coming together. That's all new. It's all an experiment. But there's a lot of potential there. Because if this is built right and it's done right, people start to really understand it. People will start taking loans like crazy. And if that happens, holding that ORX coin is pretty cool.
And it's not just in our ecosystem. It could be anyone could come in from outside. So it's the farms and Ouroboros is kind of infrastructure for. I mean, it's not for 20,000 people. I think this is the perfect thing. It's like we've got the infrastructure to facilitate way more users, and it's just waiting on when they arrive.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And Morpheus, which launched the other day, I believe they're building a aggregator. So, this is taking over another portion of DeFi in order to, support the ecosystem. And yeah, but you know what? I just want to circle back to Phoenix, because Phoenix is we got pistons working in this. We got. Let me go to my.
Yeah, I'm definitely biased, but I'm definitely looking forward to to Phoenix.
Absolutely, like this perpetual loop, this one, and this one. This is smart. This is really well built, and the user doesn't really need to know all this stuff, although they should, right? You should read this. You should spend time scratching your head figuring it out. But all the user really needs to do is either go in and mint, or after the mint phase, they can enter the auctions and then hold those coins, and just know that these smart contracts are just working away for you. They're gonna work through the bear cycle, the bull cycle, and on, because this portion is going to keep going, and Blaze and Flex for sure are just going to keep doing their things, right? The way auctions work is outside of the Phoenix auction, it's recycling coins, but for Flux and for Blaze, that's how the tokens are created. They're created through the auctions, and so that happens every single day. And every single day, the auctions are going, like the amount of economic energy brought into these auctions is usually similar to the price on market. So whatever the coin's at, that you can almost guarantee that at least that much is coming in. Quite often, if people, there'll be days here, days there where, you know, not as many eyes are on these protocols. And then there's a great opportunity for someone to, you know, make a quick percentage there, right? Like a quick, I don't know, 50% or 100%. I don't know, right? But there's those opportunities there. So what that means is there will always be eyeballs on these projects. Someone will always be, you know, looking to make that arb trade. So money will be going in. So these cycles will always be running, which will always be, you know, running these numbers and these numbers and these numbers and these numbers and this big move here. Oh, I was drawing on my other screen. You didn't really see my mouse movement. But yeah, no. So this is the kind of thing that I look for in a project, right? I look for where is the longevity of this project? What's going to happen? Because generally, it's like, you know, having projects built on projects help the projects at the bottom, which is great, right? Which is great. But the more a project like this can help itself, you know, then the better position you're in. So be biased about it, because this is good stuff. This is good stuff.
And I think just touching on the auctions, like you said, I love the mechanic of them, because it's forcing people to participate. If there is a 10% ROI there to be made, people are going to take that. Even if there's a 5%, 4%, if you can make that in one trade very quickly, why would you not do it? And obviously all of that TitanX that is deposited in Phoenix is going to go back to pumping Phoenix even more and making it more scarce. So yeah, I'm definitely excited about that aspect of things.
Yeah, and once again, it's like you said, these numbers are putting buy pressure on the tokens, which then, you know, improve the price, which improve the amount of money coming into the auctions. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
I think long term, this is what I'm most excited for. I really want to see. I think because in crypto, I don't know, when did you first get into crypto?
Literally like 18 months ago, kind of thing. I mean, I did some stuff before, but nothing to write home about for sure.
Yeah. I think I'm quite early in as well, to be honest. I have only started taking it really seriously, maybe the last year and a half. But I mean, all the times we looked before on the top 10 in all of crypto, it's normally just Bitcoin and maybe a few others that are in the top 10, but it's always changing. I really like the idea of a project that's going to be there and that uses the success of its kind of fundamental building block of TitanX to stay there. And that's why I think Dragon X is going to be here for the long term. I think Helios with its stake is going to be here long term, and hopefully Phoenix is going to be here long term as well.
I mean, you can't turn it off. You could turn it off if you wanted, right? Do you have any admin keys? Like, you said the smart contract or the LP is locked, right?
Yeah, you turn it on. Literally, I have no control. It just does what it does. The market can do what the market wants to do with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can.
The buy and burn is adjustable because
the buy and burn is adjustable, which is important, right?
For bot attacks and just for if there's prolonged, like it's just the same as TitanX basically.
Yeah.
And for the stakes as well is it's set, but that number, so it's going to sit in TitanX that comes in, and then the TitanX is going to be swapped to Inferno and then Flux. Those intervals and amounts are set as well. But
Cool. I love it. So are we going to see TitanX? Are we going to see Phoenix in the top 10?
I mean, if you go onto TitanX Hub, one of the key features is how much TitanX they can lock off from the market. If you go to the burn/stake section.
Right here.
Yeah. So obviously, if you want to get high on that leaderboard, you've got to either burn a lot of TitanX or stake a lot of TitanX. And hopefully Phoenix is going to be staking a lot of TitanX. So hopefully we're going to see, I mean, I'd love to get into top 10, but it's quite ambitious, but who knows? Over time, it could happen.
It could happen. I want to say something else about this TitanX Hub. So, you know, and when you compare this community to other communities, so data is king. Having the numbers is king, right? You know, and you join other projects, or you hop on these meme coins, and where's your data coming from? Where's your data coming from? Here, not only do we have the white papers and all that kind of stuff, we also have TitanX Hub Premium, which Mike Dean put a lot of work into this, and this is like the best tool ever. It is just jam-packed with charts and statistics and data on most of the coins on this list. So like you can see what's happening. You can visually understand what is happening with most of these protocols, and you can use that information to make your own decisions moving forward. And it's like, is any kind of VC or company going to give you that kind of data information? No, they're not, right? But that's available here. So, if you own one, if you're participating in one of these coins, if you're thinking about it, grab yourself a premium membership and let the geeking out begin.
I would definitely recommend it. Honestly, the charts in there that Mike Dean's created are insane. If you want to, if you're taking it really seriously and you've got a lot invested in TitanX, I think it's just a no-brainer, because the edge you have on everyone else and seeing that kind of data, yeah, like you said, there's nowhere else you can find that kind of data for this. So yeah, I definitely recommend that.
Awesome. And again, if you consider participating in any of these projects, get your links from verified sources. TitanX Hub is a good source for your links. Callum's his X account, I'm sure you'll post out the verified links to the website when the time is right and that kind of thing. No one's gonna go out of their way to message you links, right? Just don't. If you see one randomly, don't click on it. Safety is paramount in this kind of stuff. And again, it's just a matter of slowing down, taking your time, and looking things through, because you don't want to connect to a spoofed Dapp and then be drained, right? Have your account drained. You don't want that to happen. You want to connect to a proper account, and then you want that account to fill up, so you can celebrate and go for yummy dinners and do cool things.
Yeah, 100%. Kevin, what are you kind of looking for from new projects at the moment? Are there any kind of favorite tokenomics that you're looking for?
Yeah. So what's the best way to say this? So, okay. So we're really going through changes here, right? And the first year was the creation of TitanX, right? You know what I mean? So it was the minting of TitanX. So the people who've minted TitanX so far, I think most of us understand the value of that TitanX that they have, not only from a dollar sign, but just even from an energetic standpoint, right? Like, we minted this, we held on to it, we have it, right? And letting it go, or not letting it go, but using it in different protocols is really, it's a big deal. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. And I think, we've seen a lot of that happening over the first, over the summer and fall, and now we're shifting into this phase where it's almost like for many people, TitanX is just going to be a means to participate, right? It's like people be like, oh, like for example, like Phoenix, someone doesn't really need to know all the history of TitanX to know that there's great opportunity in Phoenix. All they need to do is use TitanX as the pathway to get there. So this isn't really answering your question, but this is how I'm seeing a shift in the ecosystem. So I'm participating in one of two ways now. First of all, I'm either imagining myself as a new user, and I'm like, okay, how can I participate at the space level? What projects are going to give me the best opportunity? And then the other thing that I'm looking at is which ones are like passive income revenue generators, which I really like, or which ones have some sort of perpetual system built into it, That's kind of where my focus is at. That's why things like farms, E280, ORX are really appealing to me. But with that said, a new project pops up, and it's hard to not click the mint button because there's wicked opportunities.
Yeah.
So I'm dabbling a little bit in everything, but the ones that have some sort of perpetual system or payouts available, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I think it is difficult to say as well because, like you said, there's all these new projects coming out and they're bringing new innovation like E280. I don't think that hasn't really been seen anywhere before, the whole idea, and it's working. Yeah. So who knows what's going to happen in the future? There's probably already projects that are listed to come out in the next few months that have really unique ideas that bring a lot to the table. So yeah, I think as long as you keep educated and keep on top of all the new projects as best as you can, I think that's the best advantage you could have in TitanX.
Totally, and there's also this this layered strategy, like for example, if you are if Flux is one of your games, or if Blaze is one of your games, then Phoenix becomes one of your games, right? Because participating in Phoenix, you're going to be supporting your bags or your contributions in these other areas, right? And that's an example relevant to this call. And that's a situation that you'll see played out over and over and time again in this whole ecosystem. Like you look at the TitanX kingdom, right, with its relation to Hydra, and then the baby TitanX and scale that's happening there, and how Tinks or how farms support it, and how Morpheus is now being built on there, right? So if you're a TitanX holder, these kind of projects appeal to you because they're supporting where your economic energy currently is. So that's a strong strategy too, right? It's like bolster your kingdom that you are mostly supported in is a good idea.
Agreed, for sure. And I really like that there are these kingdoms because it just makes sense. Because if everything's working around TitanX, and that's burning TitanX, but the hyper deflationary projects like Inferno and like TitanX, if you build around those, it's just going to benefit them even more, which lifts all the projects built on top of it. So yeah, the whole flywheel of whatever's going on in TitanX, I hope it continues because it's really cool. And I think the future is going to be absolutely insane.
I think so. How'd you come across all this?
From just TitanX as a whole. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually, I don't know if you know Kyle Chase. He's a YouTuber.
Oh man, I got a story about that guy. We met him at crazy story. Me and my wife met him at the Hollywood Bowl randomly, just like outside the concert. We went to this Kygo concert with him.
Yeah.
We partied with him all night long. This was years ago. Yeah, this was years ago. He was like a buddy. We invited him to our wedding like years after. He wasn't able to make it. Yeah, he wasn't able to make it, but
wait, the guy that lives in Dubai, he's like pretty built.
Yeah. So this was years ago, and then I hadn't heard his name again until I got into crypto, and then Kyle Chase, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm looking at the videos, I'm like, Lara, that's the guy who we did that night with and everything. So yeah, I do know him.
That's crazy. Oh man, you should have got into crypto back then.
Dude, I think he was even talking about it when I really think about it, but I just put it off. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, it was literally a 30-second clip from one of his videos talking about TitanX.
Okay.
Very, very short. And I was like, okay, I'll go and watch the white paper run through. So I did. Wow, that is crazy that you actually met him and stuff. Yeah. Should message him, tell him to talk about TitanX.
You know what? I did. I was reaching out to him, and his bot is just like his messenger bot. It's just like, do you want to learn from crypto from me? I'm like, no, Kyle, I know. I want to talk to you. So maybe he'll see the stream and be like, that guy. That guy.
Yeah, hopefully. Damn. Yeah. I mean, I wish I was in the mastermind at the beginning.
It was wild. So we I'm not from LA, so we were there visiting, and we went to this Kygo concert, and we couldn't get in, and we couldn't get tickets. We couldn't get tickets, right? And so we're like, what are we gonna do? Blah blah blah. And we're the last ones sitting there. We find this unopened bottle of wine in the bushes. My wife and I drank at the time. We don't drink anymore, but we did at the time. And so we're sitting there drinking this bottle of wine, being like, how are we gonna get in? How are we gonna get in?
Yeah.
And then Kyle Chase and his buddy walks by, and we somehow spark up a conversation with them. Next thing you know, we're in one of the the VIP front center seating in our own little area kind of thing, like our own little booth right up front for this Kyle concert. And we and we caught this whole concert with these guys, and then we went out, and he had these these hand carved wooden chairs, like they were like the kind of chair that a king would sit in, you know what I mean, in the back of the truck. And so we pull them out and we place them in the center of the road, because the center of the road, you got like grass and palm trees, and we're like doing this photo shoot with these guys chairs by these palm trees, you know what I mean? Then we go to this club after that had this huge lineup, and we just like go to the front, and they let us all in, and we party at this club, and then we go back to Kyle's place, and we just talk about life and have a good time and everything. It was
that would have been like 2016.
2016, maybe something like that.
That is crazy. What are the chances? What are the chances?
Yeah, well, that's just one story out of many trips to LA. Our trips to LA have always seemed to provide. Yeah. So that's kind of that. So
that's an awesome, yeah. Where are you based at the moment? Not quite far.
I'm on the West Coast. Yeah.
Fair enough. Wow.
Yeah. So so you watched the Kyle Chase video. Were you into crypto before then?
Yeah, I was quite into crypto before. I got into the stock market and everything like that, and just progressed into crypto, learned about Bitcoin, and then kind of went down the rabbit hole of everything. But I've definitely experienced a lot of bad projects, VC controlled projects, rug pull, everything.
Sure.
So finding TitanX was kind of like a breath of fresh air for sure.
Yeah. I remember on a call you said that your brother, he got you into stocks and all that kind of stuff. Is he in the TitanX community now? Does he check the stuff? Or
I mean, honestly, he not really. So it was during lockdown, he was investing heavily into Tesla before it had that crazy run up. And I remember just going in and speak to him about it. And he, made decent amount of that, and then went into crypto. And he just holds big bags of Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff, and doesn't really explore anything else. I keep trying to get him in, but I think because I've been talking like this for the last year and a half about random projects, he's but he definitely likes to hear it. And I run Phoenix past him because he's super smart. So
cool.
He helped me with all the numbers and stuff for Phoenix, which was good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, if I ever decide to put something together, perhaps I can run the numbers by you.
Oh, 100%. I think you should do it. Definitely get into streaming, build up an audience, and as you speak to more people, you'll develop a good idea of what you want out there, and the infrastructure is there to build something. So I think if you've got the idea, I think go for it. 100%.
For sure. And it's interesting, you know, how what's happening is because it's evolving. These projects, like these tokenomics have never been seen before, or they've never been seen the way they're being used, and new things keep happening each time. And you start to see that in the next evolution of the projects that come along. So it's just a matter of, I think, following these trends and envisioning, where this can go, what's the potential, what are these current projects creating, what opportunities are being created that we can't yet see. You know what I mean? That's kind of the key. So I'll have to go spend some time on a mountain under a tree.
Just let something come to me.
That's how it comes. That's how this stuff comes, right? It's, you can't force creation. It's not linear.
Yeah,
you have to give space to.
it is weird, but a lot of the big ideas I've had for Phoenix have literally come to me like I've been asleep or like just in bed, like about to go to sleep, and it just pops in my head and I'm like, holy shit, I need to implement this somehow or another. It's really weird how ideas are formed and just come to you because you're thinking over things and you're just thinking them over, but then a whole new idea and perspective kind of comes in that leads you in a different direction. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have one business friend of ours. He is a big proponent of going for walks. Whenever you're trying to figure out a solution, if you can't think of something or you're racking your brain, just go for a walk and let it go and let that let it kind of all percolate, because the solutions are there and they're not in those loops that you keep kind of getting yourself caught in when you're trying to figure shit out really hard. It's in the opening and the visioning and just kind of being with what is, where all the best ideas have ever come from, not just here in this crypto world, but like in general, right? It's like those ideas that come in the shower. Like where did that idea come from? It just hit me because you were open to it, right? Yeah. Sweet, man. This is good stuff. So you're obviously a young guy, a builder in all of this. I'm sure you got that building bug. I'm sure you have ideas for other. Do you have ideas for anything after all of this, or are you just kind of doing full energy Phoenix for now and letting that birth properly?
I mean, yeah, I did a stream before with TitanX and I was speaking on his stream about it. As you build, you do have all these ideas for other things that don't work in your project that you're building. So for Phoenix, it wouldn't work. But I definitely have a lot of, I think, unique, cool ideas that hopefully in the future, obviously, get Phoenix out of the way first. But I think I would love to add value to Phoenix holders in the future. I think it is a bug. I see why all the Blaze guys are continuing to build more stuff, because you build something, you're like, all right, I want to do more to this. I want to benefit this. So hopefully in the future, if all things go well, there'll be more to come.
Awesome. Well, I'll definitely be watching and keeping an eye out for it. Cool. I have another question for you, and maybe you'll have an answer, but I'll ask you this, and you're welcome to answer on our next stream. But everything we're doing here, this money is energy, wealth is energy, right? And energy can be stored up, which is good, but it can't become stagnant. Energy likes to flow. Money likes to flow. It likes to be used, right? This is wealth creation. And what I want to know is what is your why behind all of this? Like who do you think that you are? Who's Callum behind all the social conditioning, and what is Callum's vision for himself, for the world, for those around him, and how can he use this economic energy that he's creating to build that, right? Where is that flow going to go, and what do you imagine for yourself?
Damn, that is a really good question. I mean, I think, well, the same with most people that get into crypto. I think when you learn about that the money printer is just going on and on and on, and if you're working normal job or whatever and just saving up in a savings account, you're literally losing buying power all the time. So the idea of having your own wealth and storing your own wealth in crypto definitely attracted me massively, because without that, I think the future, there's not many building blocks that you can continue to do. So I think that is the start. But I mean, for what I want to do in the future, I'm only 21. So I honestly, I don't know. I wanted to get into property. Definitely. Yep. I love stores of value that you can just keep your wealth for the long term. But yeah, it started off in property, but now the more I learn about crypto, I just see doing this as much as possible, to be honest.
Cool.
How about yourself? That's a good question. How about yourself?
For sure. Well, I don't know what you do, if you do work outside of this and that kind of thing, which doesn't really matter. But you're now an entrepreneur, right? This Phoenix is an entrepreneurial endeavor. And quite often when entrepreneurs build something, have success in it, they become inspired. And many of them turn out to be serial entrepreneurs, right? Like we have the ability to create another job, to create, something else. We have the funds, to do that. So I encourage you to keep building in crypto, and then to look for, because what you just did is something with Phoenix is solution oriented, right? You saw a niche, you saw an opportunity, you saw a potential problem, right? Like by you're improving these stakes, you're keeping economic energy in the system. You saw a problem and you're fixing the problem, right? That's what entrepreneurs do. So now that you're in this realm, you have the opportunity to continue that forward thinking in crypto and outside of crypto, right? Like that's where a lot of potential is, especially for someone who's 21, right? Like what's next? So I encourage you to sit under that tree and let that why flow in, right? Let that why flow in to start solving problems and doing the things, because you are the person to do it. You are, yeah. And you, like everyone else, is extremely unique. You view things different than everyone else, and you see solutions different than anyone else. So I look forward to following your journey and seeing what happens over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Totally.
Can we ask the same? What about you? What's your
why?
why?
So I have a background in we help spiritual entrepreneurs create like online businesses and use their skills to facilitate change in a massive way. But apart from that, I'm a craniosacral therapist. It's a hands-on healing modality. I have been for the past 14 years or something like that. And a lot of that has kind of gone into the my other work has taken focus, and I haven't really been doing a lot of that work. However, I look forward to exploring that a lot more in the future. Like that's just where my heart is, being able to work with people in that kind of environment and caliber and see the type of change that happens. It just elevates myself up. And I mean, I could keep going on and on about that. But it's like, I really see myself exploring that and having the ability to do so in a way that's more than just a client practitioner in an office, me being paid for service, but really supporting people in a bigger way, because when it comes down to it, we are a society of collaboration. The more we support others, right, the more we receive. That's why, like, if you look at so much of the trouble in the world, that all comes from competition. That all comes from people seeing themselves uniquely as themselves and separated from everyone else. Right now, there becomes this difference, this competition, right? But when you support others, basically, craniosacral therapy is a way to support someone's health, to help someone heal. And all you do is you sit there with your presence, and you have this felt sense communication between two people that is absolutely undeniable. And through learning to be a craniosacral therapist, I've learned that just the depth of how humans can be. I've had a taste of how deep humans can be and how much humans can support other humans just by being in physical space and physical contact with one another. And it's so not really well known in that kind of thing. And it goes beyond a practitioner and patient relationship, because we are designed at the core to have this kind of healing communication between two people. So I want to be able to, I will be exploring this more in deeper levels, and just helping others thrive to it.
That sounds awesome. Yeah. How did you get into that? Because that's quite sounds.
Oh man, Yeah, so so my wife and I, we a long time ago, we went to Goa, India. We spent 4 months at this tantric ashram, and it's like traditional tantra, so it's not this like sexy stuff that people know. It's all about your unique relationship with everything around you. And so we spent 4 months at this place, and we just hung out and did a whole bunch of this really unique yoga and that kind of thing. And there's a fellow from Ireland who was there with his partner, who was a therapist in this manner, and he didn't really talk about it because he didn't want to be helping people, right? You go to the place, you tell someone, like you go to like a center like this, and you tell someone what you do, and everyone's like, "Oh, give me a treatment, right?"
Yeah.
So he didn't say anything. But I hurt my back, overdoing gentle yoga as men often do, right? I got to go deeper, further, harder, and hurt myself. And so he was like, "Hey, this is what I do. I'll do a session for you." And I remember he put his hands on my sacrum. The sacrum is that large bone at the bottom of your spine.
Yeah.
And I just felt my whole sacrum and my bottom just shifting and twisting and moving. And he wasn't moving, right? He was just sitting there like this, and I just boom, all this movement, right? It felt like it was so large and big, but visually you wouldn't even see it, right? And so then I was just like what is this? What's happening?
What is going on?
I'm like, no. So I ordered all the books while I was still in India. I had them all shipped to my home. And then as soon as the class came near my home, I went and took it, and that was it. It's really, really good stuff. It's really good stuff. It just changed my whole perspective of what it means to be human. To be able to literally have a conversation with somebody through the feelings in your body, to literally sit with someone and receive information from a person, and to watch that person like release trauma right on the table, or to have major life shifts right in front of you. Like, every session isn't like that, but it happens. It happens, and it's incredible. And I sit there and I'm having this communication, and sometimes I'm just like, bro, give your head a shake, Kevin. Like come on, let's get down to earth here. And then no, it's there, right? That information is flowing. Your heart lines up with someone else's heart, and there's interaction of the field. It's part of life, and it's in all animals and everything. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it all.
That's cool. So are you quite into all the numerology stuff as well, about all the energy and all the kind of different bits? Because I know that's quite big.
Yeah, in terms of numerology, I'm getting pulled more and more into it as the more streams I watch by Jake. But yeah, I also take this real approach. Like, I go quite deep, into the yoga aspect of things, right? I used to, teach that and all that kind of stuff. And I realized that I was kind of like, dividing myself from the rest of society in a way, being like, oh, okay, I'm this kind of spiritual person, blah 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 blah. And when I really sat back and thought about it, it's like, no, we're all the same, we're all equal. Like, this felt sense communication that I could have with someone, anybody can do this, and it's available to everybody, right? So it's like, I think even the most like average of everybody, we all share this ability to be much more than we originally think we are. And I think that I like to approach it like that. I think it's like the everyman's ability to understand who they really are. As long as we recognize that there's more than we think there is, then it just opens up to opportunity. And and that might fall under the category of religion or spirituality or numerology. But regardless how you look at, those are all labels. And the truth is that you're an expanding person, you're big, and if you can take the time to sit with yourself and be interested in the presence of who you are, then you're just gonna light up.
Yeah, definitely. I think I haven't explored that aspect of things too much in my life so far, but it's very interesting hearing different perspectives from different people and their beliefs and stuff. So yeah, hopefully as we do more streams together, I'll learn more.
For sure. And then that's like, man, I mean, I keep looking for flaws in TitanX, but it's like I just can't find them. And the culture that goes along with this community, it's about up leveling yourself as a person, right? It's about showing up. It's about collaborating. It's about being kind. It's about not attacking others, right? It's about supporting, and and then so many of these calls, there's conversations similar to what we're having here about philosophy and life, and it's really, really cool that way. So I I kind of think of like TitanX is also personal development, right? It's just kind of like baked into it, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
so that's pretty cool, which is the opposite of a lot of other communities in crypto, where it's kind of dog eat dog, so to speak.
More negative, more
Competition.
You're
right?
on your own. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A really cool book that I like is have you ever heard of The Law of One? It also goes by The Raw Material.
I haven't heard of it. Well,
this is such a book. So basically, it's The Raw Material, Law of One. There's like I think there's like 7 books. But basically, what happened is in somewhere around the 70s, this as it goes is this person is, I guess it's channeled. It's more like embodied by a entity from a higher life plane or a higher spiritual plane. And then what happens is these people ask questions to this entity, and then the entity answers. So the whole book, and this is, it was all recorded, right? So the books are transcriptions of this. And so basically it's these people are asking these life questions to this higher entity being, and it just shares all this information about life, our place in the universe, and that kind of thing. And I bring it up because whether it's real or fabricated, it's very much a wonderful representation of who we are as humans and our potential in it, and really like our reason for being here, which is collaboration, is to support, right? So
was that the main message of the book?
Yeah, in many ways. Yeah, in many ways, it kind of comes down to how which kind of flows along the lines of evolution and spiritual evolution, is that, and karmic values, is that we are here to learn lessons, to evolve, and to basically elevate ourselves in consciousness as time progresses, right? And that we go from this current plane and dimension that we're in, and then eventually we move up in lines, and it all comes down to supporting others, to be in service of others, to fully support, right? That's really what it all comes down to.
Because I've heard that from a lot of different people, that it's about being in service of others, but being more positive to others, making sure that your experiences are positive to others. I think that's most people that I speak to that have these different perspectives on things all have that in common. They all think that's the kind of root of beliefs and root of kind of meaning. So that's interesting to hear from someone else, for sure.
Yeah, totally. I mean, what else is there if you can't have positive interactions with others? Yeah. There's a lot of sadness is the other side of that, I guess. So, yeah, cool, man. Awesome. Yeah, so we're going on 2 hours now. I just want to do a recap here real quick. So yeah, we're talking to Callum about his upcoming project, Phoenix. And Phoenix is launching probably sometime in late November. It is it's a protocol where you mint your own Phoenix tokens, and the mint phase is over 28 days from when it launches. The day one is your best rate, right? So day one, you get a ratio of 1 Titan to 1 Phoenix, and then that goes down over the next 4 weeks. And that is the creation of the supply. After that, on-chain supply becomes recycled into a perpetual auction for the Phoenix protocol. And then so this perpetual auction comes in, and then that's distributed into the 3 staking pools: Flex Stake, TitanX Stake, Blaze Stake, and also 80% from the money coming, or the TitanX coming in from the daily auctions, goes to the Phoenix buy and burn contract, which burns 50% Phoenix, 50% goes to the auction. And then we have these little perpetual pistons, which are continually feeding the staking position in the 3 different protocols, as well as burning TitanX along the way and bolstering the Phoenix smart contract, which then completes the perpetual loop. So this looks like a project that has a lot of opportunity and isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Once it gets going, once this thing starts trucking, it's just going to keep on continuing day in and day out. Yeah.
Well,
any other last words, Phoenix, Callum, about your project? Anything that we might have missed, or something really important that you want the community to know?
I mean, yeah, you put it perfectly. It's going to be hyper deflationary, built on top of a hyper deflationary project Inferno. It's going to have 4 separate buy and burn streams that we're all going to force it to be, hopefully, one of the most deflationary projects on TitanX. But if you have any questions, just join the Telegram. Just phoenix.win, and it comes up, and there'll be a big button that you can join the Telegram from. Yeah, and if you have any questions, just come in there and ask.
Phoenix.win, and this is the site that you'll go to when the project opens and minting begins.
Yes, for sure.
Sweet. Callum, this has been a great chat, man. I really appreciate chatting with you. I appreciate you putting in all this hard work. I look forward to watching the success of this project. And hopefully I can have you on again soon. Maybe we'll do another one before launch or something like that. And then maybe we'll do some check-ins, and we'll see how this is all coming together once things are going on. So
yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it, and I am honored that I'm on your first stream. Keep it up. Keep on the streams. Honestly, just reach out to anyone. They're so helpful and so useful. So I wish you the best of luck with your streaming in the future.
Thanks, man.
No worries.
Okay, take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.